Good morning. If you are hearing this, then you are getting poked by me, Laura. Congratulations. I am here today to talk a little bit, to introduce you to some ideas about the teeth and about dreams. Now, there's a few things I want to point out. Number one, I'm probably going to use some terms that you will not be familiar with. And it could be simple things like empty or deficient or excess, or I might talk in temperatures. I might use other terminology that is not familiar. If you are curious about something, please ask. I will be happy to explain. But if I explain throughout the podcast, we will never get through it. So the other thing is that within Chinese medicine, it really is a wormhole. It really is a layer cake of information. Nothing is understood alone or in a vacuum. Everything is connected in theory, in philosophy, and in statements. So I'm going to make some statements about things like, for instance, the teeth are strongly correlated with the kidneys. That in and of itself could be an entire podcast. In fact, I think I have some podcasts on the kidneys, so you should go check those out. But I don't particularly go into teeth. When we talk about teeth, we talk about bone. Bone is related to kidney, as is marrow, as is the brain. There's a lot of layering to all of these pieces of information. But one of the primary things to know about teeth, and then there will be other things like this is why I'm pointing it out, is that they are strongly correlated to kidney. So kidney energy is sort of the root energy, if you will, of teeth. But then within teeth, depending on placement, depending on condition, depending on issue, we can also see issues with other organs. And I will talk about a little bit of that. So again, layers, right? So yes, teeth correlate strongly to kidney. Yes, there's always involvement there. But in Chinese medicine, in East Asian medicine and diagnosis, there's also always going to be a layering of information. So don't take any one thing that you might relate to and run with it and think, oh no, I have this problem in this organ. No, because in Chinese medicine, we also do not just have organs, we have channels, right? We have a system, we have a highway. And those highways themselves can be the issue, not the organ itself. So lots of layers to this. Third, and I think finally, to caveat this podcast episode, I am not a dream interpreter. Okay, there are people out there who interpret dreams using Jungian theory, Carl Jung, if you know him, all kinds of other observational social scientists who do that kind of stuff. When I talk about dreams, while I do find them interesting always, I am looking at it from a diagnostic point of view. So everything about the body, the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions, the aches, the pains, the colors, the smells, all of it, for me is information that is ultimately getting back to a diagnosis, because that is my job. My job is to diagnose, to treat, and to form a treatment plan. So dreams are fascinating. I urge you to explore that, and even to make comments here on the podcast. I welcome it. But know that I am not a dream interpreter. I am a diagnostician. I am a clinician. So that's my interest, and that is what I'm going to be focusing on. So maybe last little disclaimer here. There's going to be a lot of questions, I hope, that comes from this material, as it should. And that's what we want. We want to see more of that. So let's dig into some of what I have put down on paper here for you. I'm sorting through my stuff. Ooh, there's some poetry I found. I do so love to write at times. I think I've been writing a lot more. I'm going to try to share more of that. Oh no. Okay. There it is. Okay. We got it. Okay. So this question came from a member on Patreon who just had a couple of roots of teeth pulled out, but they looked like teeth, and they were They were wrapped around each other. It was kind of sweet. It looked almost like a hug. But it was really impacting lymphatic flow. There was a lot of congestion and swelling in the face. So, it was really impacting health a lot. So when they went in, they found these roots were grown together. And then this listener asked and said, I've been having these dreams ever since I had these teeth pulled out. Like, what do you think? I would need more information, and so hopefully this will give you a springboard to give me a little more information. I already have some ideas about it because we know each other a little bit. Thanks for the question. But here's the general info. So the teeth are considered an extension of the bones. I said this earlier. And they're under the influence of the kidneys. So the kidneys are that root influence of the teeth. And the gums are under the influence of the stomach. Okay, so again, remember when we talk about one organ, we're talking about more than one, but that's the main influence on the gums is the stomach. You can tell the general health of someone's stomach and stomach chi. Oh wow, there's a bird soaring through a snowstorm right now, just having a blast. Good for you. Wow. So yeah, you can tell a lot about the health of the stomach by the gums. So if the gums are swollen and painful, for example, maybe bleeding, this will tell you that there's heat in the stomach. If there's no pain associated with that, then this is considered empty heat. If the gums are very pale, it's blood deficiency. If you have moist looking teeth that are in a really good state, then the kidneys are in good shape. But if you have dry teeth, it might indicate an exhaustion of the fluids and a deficiency in the kidneys. If the teeth are bright and dry, kind of like a stone, that indicates heat in the outer parts of the body, and that it's drying things up. It's an exterior issue. So not an interior heat, but an exterior heat in the body. If they're dry and grayish, like bone, like how we think of bone, it indicates empty heat from kidney insufficiency. And if the teeth are bleeding, it indicates extreme heat in the stomach. Okay, so let's get into dreams. So the organs that I went over here for dreams, all of this information is coming from very old texts, Chinese medical texts and philosophy texts in relationship to diagnostics, because everything in the body, everything of the body, including thoughts, including dreams, every single thing can be used to diagnose. And because I'm a relatively young practitioner, I've been practicing the medicine hands-on since 2010. So what is that, 15 years? I'm still a baby. So I use a lot of different things to come up with my diagnosis and to give me clues, because when I layer it, it makes me more sure that I'm doing something right, which so far in 15 years I seem to be, because people tend to get better. So that's a good thing. So one thing is dreams. We can look at dreams, especially if they're really standing out for people and they're really delivering a message. The body does speak to us through dreams. So there's a few organs that I want to stress that are really important with regard to sleep and dreaming, and they sort of stand at the top of the heap, but then I have other things to mention here. So the organs that we're going to go over are the bladder, the gallbladder, the heart, the large intestine, the liver, and the small intestine, and then an organ, also the spleen and stomach. And then an organ that Westerners don't know, which is called the Sanjiao or the triple burner. Some people in the Western world look at that as the lymphatic system. You could argue the lymphatic system might be a part of the Sanjiao, but the Sanjiao is its own complete system, and it's multi-layered. We're not going to get into it, but we'll talk about it. So if you relate to it and you have a question about it, I can do something separate about the Sanjiao. Always good to review the Sanjiao. It's a mysterious one. Okay, so let's talk about the bladder. And when I come up to one of these really important organs as it relates to dreams and sleep, I will emphasize it. So the bladder.